What's up, you guys? Let's talk about what exactly is going on with the crypto industry right now. Now, this is something that a lot of people haven't realized with SHIB is people are starting to get slightly worried in a sense. They don't know where Shiba Inu is gonna end at this point, but I do think Shiba Inu 1 million worth of SHIB will be burned, and Matthew Perry is actually starting to talk about this one.
Matt here. Let's talk about SHIB INU in this video, and specifically we can talk about the ecosystem dev team. Now, I don't want to continue to bash anyone. I don't want to bash anybody, period. But when we in the community are pushing to kind of support these different things that the ecosystem dev teams are creating, or ecosystem dev team is creating, we want to see results. We want to see the things that are promised to us, actually.
That's true. Like, if the Shiba Inu team says it's going to be a game changer, if it's going to be mind-blowing, they need to actually deliver. And the issue with Shiba Inu team is they create a very high expectation for a lot of these projects. And that's where probably a lot of the issues arise. Like, they say there's going to be a real game changer happening next month, and there is in the end no actual game changer happening. Like, the game changer is a small partnership. And again, like, the Shiba Inu team is trying, but with these high expectations, do realize that you get people hyped up, but you gotta actually say, like, for the last 3 years they've been calling it a game changer, every single thing, the NFTs, and they are good projects. I'm not saying that they're not. The big difference here, however, is how far can it go? Like, where, how, when does it really stop? Like, in that way, that's something I am interested in. Like, when does all this stuff actually stop? When will they develop the games they need to be? When will they focus on one thing? Because Shiba Inu has a ton of smaller projects, but it's still missing that crucial one big project, and I think this is where the issue seriously arises from in that sense. Like, where is SHIB right now to have like a real game changer in that sense? So that's something I am interested in. Like, is Shiba Inu gonna recover from that?
Come true. When they're saying that they're going to burn, we want to support the projects that they have in place because we want to see these burns. When they say they're going to create something to support Shiba Inu in a way of creating more purchases, more transactions.
That's true. They did make a promise, and this promise now is not out there. It's definitely not out there. And people did expect a lot more in that sense. They did expect a lot more Shiba Inu burns. All sorts of things, basically, that really changed SHIB that way. So I do think SHIB does have the potential to recover. I do think it has tons of possibilities to see another bull run rally. But what can Shiba Inu do that other projects have not done yet? Now, that is my question today. Like, how can Shiba Inu break the barrier?
More things that are happening, more hype around it. We want to see that come true. But in reality, the only thing that creates hype for anything is Shiba Inu creating hype for what they are doing. Not because of what they're doing, it's because of Shiba Inu that they are getting any type of hype. Understand this, that
exactly. So like, they're creating the hype, and people don't really create hype for SHIB. They're selling the SHIB, and they want the price to rise. That's like their main concern.
Bone would be nowhere without Shiba Inu. Leash would be nowhere without Shiba Inu. Shiboshis wouldn't be a thing without Shiba Inu. Shibarium wouldn't be a thing, right? So all the things that they've built come from the Shiba Inu community. They are not the Shiba Inu community. We wanted them to be.
So exactly, like, the team, like, while they should focus also on the community more, because the community is the one that made them.
A part or a big part of that Shiba Inu community. However, they haven't really given us what we want to see from a team that could potentially be a leader, right? Even though we didn't want to see any type of leaders in the community, we wanted to kind of have this completely decentralized and without a central team. And it seems like this central team is really controlling the outcome of what happens with the burns. Understand that we put all of our eggs into one basket when it comes to burns. There were so many people that were like, yeah, we'll follow them. We'll make sure that anything that they say is a valid way to burn or the right way to do business or cares about Shiba Inu.
That's very much well said. Like, that's the big problem I'm finding with SHIB right now. Like, I think a lot of people need to realize that the big difference with SHIB is people haven't stayed around for 2 years, and now you need to get that community back.
They will support in the end. Like, they will tell us, well, they told us all the time that people are scam artists, that people aren't transparent, and that they...
Yeah, so this is the worst case scenario. Turning against your community is a recipe for disaster. It always is.
They are the most transparent within the ecosystem. Well, they are not transparent. They've never been transparent. They hide a lot of information from a lot of people when they could be putting this out there and making it super popular for Shiba Inu, but I don't believe they want the popularity for Shiba Inu. So
I believe they just don't know. Like, this project wasn't made to be like a big top 10 project. Shiba Inu was never made to be a top even 1,000 project. It was made as like a fun thing. Some people bought it fair launch, they got bored of it, and then it became popular again after Elon Musk said he's buying a SHIB. So in reality, like, Shiba Inu was never had the team designed, you know, all these PR and VC backed firms. So basically venture capital backed firms, which have like large money. They have teams from like big top 500 SP 500 companies, and SHIB didn't really have that. So it was at a massive disadvantage from the start because it couldn't like handle the hype. It didn't have any actual products, and the products it developed, like, people didn't really think they were a game changer. Like, sure, like the coffee burns were awesome thing, but they weren't from the Shiba Inu team. They had like some community stuff, but they weren't a game changer. Like, XRP has community stuff without anything else. And I think this is the problematic part in that sense. Like, this is where people got seriously frustrated. But I'll keep you guys more on tuned in that.
In this video, let's talk about SHIB. Let's talk about the transparency. Let's talk about the $1 million worth of SHIB that could be burned off and why it won't be burned off and hasn't been burned off kind of any time soon. We may see partials of it, but that's only if we force or twist their arm, right? So guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more.
So this is, he's kind of saying like, oh, if you twist your arm, then we're going to be like giving you the actual cash. And I find that kind of funny, if you ask me. Like, it's the Shiba Inu really trusted, the Shiba Inu community really trusted the Shiba Inu team, and it's been 3 years since SHIB launched, and we're at this point. Time flies fast. Like, time flies really fast, and that's what Matthew Perry is frustrated about.
More of these videos. Also, make sure you check out any of the links that are down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to start trading on Margex, feel free to use my link down below. You can trade up to 100x leverage. So if you have $100, you can learn the process of trading, what works best for you, by trading $100 here, $100 there, or $10 here, $10 there, to understand what you are doing and to try and benefit from the overall situation by trading on leverage, right? You have $100 for this.
So this is like something that was in development like 3 years ago, still is today. Like, cracks all the burns. And look at these burns. They're absolutely nothing. They're like, I don't want to say it, 8 billion is a lot, but other than that, nobody's really doing these massive burn rates. There's been burned 2.6 million of SHIB, and this is actually nothing in today's standards, sadly. Like, it's not enough for people to take notice. And I think this is where the huge problem arises in that sense. Like, it's not that much of a game changer, again, and it's problematic.
So they burn quite a bit, a total of like 16 billion, which is catching up to what the community overall has done. They should have been way past us at this point with all of the different money that we had.
Yeah, exactly. So they had probably 20 million flowing in. They had Shiba Swap all this money for the burns. Yeah, they could have made a ton of money and still made burns a possibility, but they did not. They did not focus on that, and that's the problem.
Blow into their ecosystem projects. They should have been way past this in the form of burns. However, these are the first 2 burns that they have done. They've done no other burns besides these 2 burns. Understand that it's been 2-3 years that we've been going through this whole situation. Caring about.
So it's like a repeating story. It's like a comedy show, you know. This time it's gonna be different. This time we're gonna have a massive burn reveal, and I bet in December there's not gonna be a massive burn reveal, and people will be even more frustrated in that sense. It's like a TV show. Today we're gonna have to change it up, and we're gonna go to the park, and then like they stay inside the apartment all the time, and they never really do anything. And that's the big problem Matthew Perry has, and he has a fair point.
SHIB INU and the growth and what can be built there and what they're building. We've spent how many years trying to support what they're doing in hopes that they're going to support SHIB INU and burn SHIB INU. These are the first 2 burns that they've done in a matter of 3 years. It goes to show like what they truly care about. Now, recently, as we see this 8.6 billion coin burn and the 8.2 billion coin burn, we still have about $1 million, I believe, sitting in there. If we go to the SHIB
$1 million, so they still have to burn $1 million that they still haven't addressed it. So they have to burn about 1 million SHIB. And I think the biggest problem that will take a hit is actually like it's other tokens. Like the other tokens will definitely take a huge hit in that sense, and that's what I'm kind of worried about for SHIBA INU.
That we would see it burned off, then we would see it end up being burned off the 14th, 15th, and 16th. It got to that point, nothing was burned. Then it got to the 17th, to where they did the $90,000 worth of bone that was burned, and they could have came out and said, hey, you know what? Bone would collapse in price. We don't want to have to do this. We're going to do this on a green day, right? This is the.
So the biggest like issue, the biggest problem is Bone is taking probably the biggest hit out of all these. It's like the one that gets the end of the stick. Like, so Bone is going to be taking the biggest hit out of all of them.
Schedule that we have. Whenever we have the next good day for Bone, we will take some out. We will start to pull some out so that we can end up trading that for SHIB INU and burning off SHIB INU. That's kind of the process, right? You have to sell your Bone in order to buy SHIB INU and burn it. Well, there's only 228 million Bone that's in circulation. So if you're going to sell 1.4 million Bone, that's a large amount of that overall supply. So I understand they're
probably going to be selling all of the all of the Bone supply to cover this transaction fees, and I think that's where the problem comes in. Like, Bone's the biggest problem maker in a sense. Like, they're the ones that are going to have the problematic stuff in reality. So that being said, does seem like there is going to be more of crypto content for you guys. I'm going to keep you guys updated. So until next time, peace everyone.